In all honesty, the deeper I'm getting into this, the more I'm realizing the stuff I'm learning is so different from the things I've been taught. Here's the thing, okay? There is the secular spirituality niche on YouTube, and these people teach you how to manifest things without Quran, without any of these things, right? And then we have Muslim people teaching how to make dua and how to get your dua accepted, but then they ignore all the spirituality stuff. What I found out is that both of them are on extremes. If you actually search up the Quran with an open mind, well, when you empty what's in your mind and then you go into the Quran, you will see that it takes everything that this group is saying and this group is saying, combine it, and then it'll bring you this beautiful step-by-step method on how to live a beautiful life no matter who you are. And once you follow that, the stuff that's within the Quran, once you follow it, you will notice that the promises of Allah are actually 100% true. And it'll always leave you thinking, Sadaqallah. Sadaqallahu al-Azim. So in this video, we're going to go very deep on the fact that Allah always manifests instantly. And I will be showing you how do you align yourself with that so that miracles become normal in your life. Now I know this is a huge claim, but the fact that I'm making this huge claim shows that I'm going to be backing it up with this beautiful information. Now you're not waiting on Allah. Understand that. You're not waiting on Allah. So stop thinking that, oh, I've been making so much dua, Allah still hasn't responded to me. Right off the bat, get rid of that mentality before you continue watching this video. Similar to how Allah tells Musa, take off your slippers before speaking to me, metaphorically means get rid of everything that you've been walking upon. So that's what I want you to do right now. Before you even continue watching this entire video, get rid of everything in your mind that you've been having. And I mean truly everything. This is what I've been doing. When you get rid of everything, and then you go into the Quran, and then you're like, Allah, please just teach me. You ask Allah to teach you because Allah Himself says that He teaches the Quran. You do it this way, Allah will give you some beautiful divine knowledge. And by the way, this is how the Quran is actually taught. It's in the heart. It gets revealed to you in the heart, because there's a difference between Kitab and Quran. Kitab is the Mus'haf. Quran is the thing that gets revealed to you on your heart, which is very beautiful. And by the way, you're going to be hearing some crying downstairs. I don't know if my mic is going to pick it up, but if you hear crying, just know that the little boy is good, okay? Let's get deep into this video. Now I know you've made dua, you've cried at night, you've begged Allah for a way out because you've been told that this is the way to get your du'as accepted. Unfortunately. And then we're left with a bunch of people that are like, bro, these methods are not working. I keep doing it and it's not working. I guess I'm the one that's doing something wrong. No, it's the method itself that's wrong. People spend 30 years, 40 years going through the same thing. Begging, thinking that it's going to help. It doesn't help. I'm literally telling you right now, no matter what scholar tells you, no matter what big sheikh tells you, I'm sorry, bro, these things don't help. They don't help. Quran does not say do that. And I know this is such a big thing to say, but Quran does not say keep begging. And I know sometimes it feels like there's nothing happening. There's no signs. It's just I gotta keep waiting more and more. But what if I told you that Allah's response is actually instant? And what if I told you that the bridge that will help you reach that thing that you've been asking for the entire time is already been built? And the plan is already complete. And you're not waiting for Allah. You're waiting on yourself to step into the state. To step into the state that will let you feel and walk what has already been made and written for you. Allah says His command when He wills a thing is only that He says to it be and it becomes. And I had a whole different video talking about what this means, but today I'm going to shed more light onto what this means. Now the question was never, when's Allah going to respond? Get rid of that question. Your question should be, how do I align with what Allah already willed for me? That's what you should be asking yourself. Because if you truly want change, empty your mind, first of all. Get rid of all the ideas. Go to the Quran, see what does the Quran say, and the Quran tells you, ask. How do I align with what Allah has already willed for me? That's what you need to be doing. Instead of constantly saying, Allah, please give me this. How do I change what's inside so that it matches what Allah already made? Allah's decree is already complete. He's already made everything. He's the divine after all. Allah says, indeed, we have created all things with a decree. All things, which means everything. Your life, your opportunities, the test, the bridges, everything's already made. Allah says, no calamity strikes on earth or within yourselves except that it is in a book before we bring it into existence. Indeed, that's easy for Allah. For Allah, that's easy. And this is, by the way, this is by definition who the divine is. If I were to tell a little boy, give me the definition of God, he would say, God can do anything. And that's the thing, God has already made everything. So for Allah, nothing is developing, nothing is buffering, nothing is in construction. Everything's already made. His command is instant. His knowledge is total. And His planning is already complete. So where does the process come in? Why for you, it feels like you have to go through this, then this, then this, then this, then this, gradually. Why is that? And it's because of this. Allah says He arranges the matter from the heaven to the earth, then it ascends back to Him in a day whose measure is 1,000 years of what you count. So for you, it feels like time. It feels like 1,000 years. But to Allah, it's instantaneous. And listen, I know you're going to be telling me, but so you're telling me it's not instantaneous? No, I'm telling you it is instantaneous. Just keep listening. So that for Allah, the affair is already done. It's already arranged instantly. But for you, it'll feel like 1,000 years. I want you to imagine, I'll give you analogies so that this truly, truly sinks into your mind. Think of a book. Allah already knows page 1 to page 1,000, but for you, the human, you must go through the book page by page. So this doesn't mean that the ending is not written. The ending is there. It's already written. Now you're going to be telling me, so that means I have no free will? So, like, if Allah knows I'm going to be making the dua, like, why do I have to make the dua if it's already written? And why can't Allah just give it to me? You'll go through all these questions, but this is why I say imagine this analogy right here. Imagine a city where everything exists, nothing is being constructed, and nothing is added or removed. The city is just done. Everything is done. And it's been built before you were even born. And this is what we call qadr. Qadr is not like everything's written, you have no say. Qadr is that everything is written, everything is made, the good and the bad. The good and the bad. That's why Allah says we created all things with a precise measure. But the key is that you can only walk one path at a time. Allah created every single possible path. You can go anywhere in that city, but you can only go one path at a time. So again, every possible path is here. You being broke, you being rich, but you can only enter that path with what your inner state aligns with. That means that your heart is the GPS. Your heart is the GPS. And your heart, depending on what it's signaling, that's the path that you move towards. Do you understand what I mean? So when I say that Allah's manifestation is instant, it truly is. Everything's already made. Everything's already made. It's up to you though, depending on your state, to pick where to go. Where to go. And that's why they call the human a co-creator. Because other creation does not have this ability where you pick where to go. How do you pick where to go? Through the GPS. What's the GPS? Your heart. What's the heart? The inner states. Your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions. Who you are. That's why you don't, when you want something, you have to become someone that aligns with that thing. Which means if you're asking for $1 million, you can't be living like a person that's broke, having $2 habits, having cheap habits, because it doesn't align. And the beauty, by the way, is that Allah already told you, by the way, in the Quran, it's a map to the soul, to the spirit. Allah already told you, if you have this specific inner state, this is what's going to happen. And if you have this specific inner state, this is what's going to happen. For example, if you feel gratitude, which is an inner state, you'll experience an increase. If you're forgetting the divine, Allah says that you'll forget yourself, and then you'll live in confusion. By the way, this is a hint to the ending of the video. Allah says, whoever forgets Allah will forget themselves, which means when you remember yourself, you remember Allah as well. So Allah says, whoever is mindful of Allah, which means has taqwa, He will make a way out for them and will provide for them where they don't expect. So Allah is telling you, if you have this inner state right here, which is taqwa, God consciousness, being aware of Allah constantly, what's going to happen is that Allah will move you through the bridge where you'll have a way out of any problem, and will give you from things that you don't expect. Do you notice the pattern? It's not you sitting down and being like, Allah, please give me that. No. It's by you changing your inner states. By changing your inner states, that's the real dua. And by the way, we'll get even deeper into that, because what truly is dua? Like, is dua you sitting down and you asking for things? That's called nida. In the Quran, that's called nida. Dua is something different. Dua is inviting. Da'wah. I mean, it's so obvious. Dua is inviting da'wah. Like right now, if I want to invite someone to my house, I'm giving them da'wah. If I'm inviting someone to Islam, I'm giving them da'wah. So Allah says, when you give da'wah to Allah, Allah will respond always. So what does it mean to give da'wah to Allah? And that's what we're going to go deeper on today. So again, taqwa is your inner state. Allah reveals a way out, and that's the bridge. And He gives you things that you did not expect. And that's why Allah says Allah does not change the condition of a people till they change what's within themselves. This should free you, bro. This should free you. Knowing that this is from the Quran, meaning that no one can ever come and argue with this, just so you know. And this should free you, because now it's like I've given you the keys. I know you've spent years asking for things, and it's not happening. This is why it's not happening. Because when you're asking for things, there is nothing that's becoming different in your heart. Again, if you're practically speaking, if you're asking for $1 million, but you're still not someone who's worth $1 million, you'll never get it. If you're asking to be married to a specific spouse, but you're not someone who's worth being married into that specific spouse, you'll never get it. Never get it. The moment, however, that you change your inner state, that's when you've rearranged. You've moved from this bridge to this bridge, and now this bridge is going to move you to a whole different city, a whole different place within the city. Imagine that the city is huge, and you'll move towards it. So this means that you'll have different scenarios happening into your life. You'll have different experiences coming into your life, and every experience that you have is going to be moving you towards that same very thing that you're feeling in your inner states. Your personality. Personality is what gives you your personal reality. Now also understand, again, the inner, change the inner first, then you will change exactly the bridge, which bridge you're going to be going to, and what you're going to be seeing in the city after. Now understand, other people are going to be part of the script. If you've changed your inner, and I'll show you how to change your inner. If you've changed your inner, and you went from one bridge to another, now you're supposed to be experiencing something completely different. What's going to happen is that within this bridge, what's going to happen is that Allah's going to be using people around you to help you get that thing that you've been experiencing in your inner states. So the people around you, they will play roles that you didn't even know they exist. The Quran says, He is the one who supported you with His help and with the believers and brought their hearts together. If you had spent all that is in the earth, you could not have united their hearts. But Allah united them. So Allah says that He's the one that unites the hearts. He's the one that moves the people. He's the one that brings the right souls into your life at the right time, through ways that you couldn't even design. And then He says, thus we have made some of you a trial for others. Will you be patient? So then here's the thing. If you start having something different in your heart, don't start resisting the things that come your way. Everything that comes your way is coming like Allah perfectly planned it. Like I remember when I was working as a ride operator, I made a decision. I'm like, bro, I can't just keep making minimum wage. I want to start making more than minimum wage. And I would be learning these things. So I'm like, okay, change the inner. I would change the inner. The outside didn't change. In fact, what started happening is that on the outside, I would be getting some annoying coworkers coming into the group, and I'm just like, this is so annoying. And then my own boss at some point he's like, you're taking too many sick days off, and I would be taking sick days off because I'm learning how to make money online. He's like, you're taking way too many. And I'm like, oh, come on, man. And it kind of annoyed me. Things are gonna come to annoy you, almost like it's gonna come and help you to reach the goal that you've intended. And then as a result, if it wasn't for these people, I wouldn't have been like, you know what, I can't do this anymore. I need to quit this job. And if I didn't quit that job, I wouldn't have been where I am right now. If I didn't quit that job, I wouldn't have been where I am right now. And that's the thing. Allah will bring people to you that will move you towards your goal. So even if they're annoying you, they're moving you towards your goal. Rumi used to say, if you're getting annoyed at every single thing that annoys you, how will you ever become polished? How is Allah ever going to polish you if everything that comes your way is going to annoy you? So understand, Allah's going to move people. And this could also be positive as well. Like Allah will bring people to your life that will assist you into doing whatever you need to be doing. And that's the beautiful thing. Like so many times, I don't have a specific story right now. I should have prepared a specific story. But so many times that I wanted something and Allah would bring me someone to help me with that exact same thing. It only happens, however, when in my heart I'm like, it's done. It's done, and I walk like it's done. Which is foreshadowing the rest of the video. So manifestation never needed to be accelerated. It was always instantaneous. Understand this as well. So now when I'm telling you all of this, stop being like, oh, okay, but now it's taking so much time. Allah says the human being has been created hasty. Don't be hasty. Allah says, man never tires of asking for good, but if evil touches him, he's hopeless and despairing. So even though I'm teaching you all these things, and I told you that if all has been done, it's instantaneous, you'll go through some things in the physical world that will lead you to it. Allah will bring changes. In fact, the things that you lose, if you made a dua, or if you made a request, and then you lost your job, that's a good thing. That's Allah removing something to make space for something bigger. So don't be saying, it's taken way too long, it's taken way too long. Impatience does not mean that Allah is slow. Having anxiety doesn't mean that your qadr is delayed. You're living in the future, in the past, always analyzing, overthinking. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Stop living in your head. Be here. Live in the now. Be in the present. Look at the world as it is right now. Not as you think it is. Look at it as it is right now. When you're present and you're immersed into the world right now, things will come faster. But I don't even want to tell you that it's going to be coming faster, because then you'll be like, oh man, what the heck, it didn't come faster. Just be here now. Don't be stuck in your head. You understand what I'm saying? But also understand what you're doing with all of this and understanding all of this is that you're understanding the sunnah of Allah. These are universal laws. Just like gravity, these are universal laws. Allah says that is the way of Allah which has passed before, and never will you find in the way of Allah any change. And Allah teaches you His ways, His laws within the Quran. You change your inner, the outer changes. You have taqwa and tawakkul, you get exits from any problem and provision unexpectedly. You have salat and sabr, you have isti'ana, you have Allah being with you. You have dhikr, Allah will give you tranquility. You have kufr and forgetfulness, you will live a life of constriction and confusion. These are all talking about your inner state, and Allah literally gave you a map. You need to start believing in these words. So you're not doing manifestation, you're just bumping into the sunnah of Allah over and over again without even realizing it. And by the way, the opposite here is all true. So like right now when you're always feeling, oh, it's not coming, it's taking way too long, you went from this bridge to this bridge. And this bridge is the bridge that will lead you to a part of the city that keeps saying, yes, it's been taking long. Because Allah already made that part. And Allah will keep delaying it because you're living like that. Do you understand what I mean? And then when you live in a state where you're feeling gratitude, that's when Allah will give you an increase. So you'll go to a part of the city that's already been made that will show you more and more increase. Do you see how it's made? This is why I say, for those of you that say, oh, but I feel like I'm lying to myself if I start living like I already have it. I feel like I'm lying to myself. I'm telling you, you're not lying to yourself because Allah already made it. What you're doing is that you're doing exactly what Allah asked you to do, which is believe in the unseen. The fact that you can't see it does not mean that it's not there. Allah says the believers are the ones that believe in the unseen and do salat and are connected to the divine. The more that you're connected to the divine, the more that this won't even worry you. And the more that you're not worried about any of this, the more that your inner state is going to be pure. Which leads me to the next thing. The only way to be connected with this intelligence, with this divine, is through meditation, which is salat. Salat is a connection. Allah says He is the one that does salah on you, and the malaika, they do salah on you to move you from darkness to light. Going from darkness to light means that you can see. You can see now. So if you have sila, connection with Allah, now you can see. The thing that was once unseen will become seen, meaning you can see it. So how do you do salat? Allah always says connect salat with dhikr. So how do you do dhikr? One way to do dhikr in the Quran is this beautiful ayah right here. And beautifully also, this exact ayah is repeated once again in the same surah. But instead of Allah saying remember, which is doing dhikr, Allah says wad'u, which is dua. Almost the same exact words Allah uses. وَادْعُوا رَبَّكُمْ تَضَرُّعًا وَخُفْيًا, or khifa, I believe. Call upon Allah in awe and humbleness. In humbleness and awe. And then here Allah says, remember your Lord within yourself, inside yourself. Allah is telling you to easily change your inner, to easily connect yourself with the divine, go within. Bring your attention within. Watch my previous video. I talked to you about how powerful going within is. When you go within, you're inviting Allah. And Allah says that when you invite Him, Allah always responds. Now you're going to be asking me, but I want something specific. I told you even that thing that's specific is already made. Stop worrying about that. It's already made. You need to just learn how to change your inner. That's all it is. When you change your inner, you change your outer. How do you change your inner? Right here, through dhikr. Go within. You're confused in the morning and the evening. And don't be among the heedless. What does it mean? In the morning, during Fajr, wake up, go and sit, close your eyes, and be aware. Don't be heedless. Be aware of what's happening inside. What do I do next? Nothing. Just be aware that sits. Be aware and that sits. And remember Allah. Remember Allah. What does it mean to remember Allah? فَأَمَّا بِنِعْمَةِ رَبِّكَ فَحَدِّثْ. Allah always says, talk about the good things that Allah has done for you. وَآتَاكُم مِّن كُلِّ مَا سَأَلْتُمُوهُ. He has given you from everything that you've ever asked for. Which means everything is already here. Expand your awareness and remember that Allah has already done everything for you. The breath that you're breathing right now is coming from Allah. The breath in of itself is coming from Allah. Remember the beauty within this and the mercy within this. And how without this you're done. The eyes that you're seeing with, from Allah. Without this, you wouldn't have been able to see anything. Remember what Allah has done for you. Remember who Allah is. And Allah always is and is always here and now. Remember this. Be aware of this. Don't be heedless of this. And the more that you do this, and when you have a thought in your mind, don't pay attention to it. Go back to Allah. The more that you do this, the more that you change your inner. Now you'll walk around feeling like you're happy for no reason. You don't need a reason on the outside because you're connected to the divine through salat. Do you understand what I mean? You're feeling love. Overflowing love for no reason because you're connected to the divine. When you're connected to the divine, what more do you want? You're connected to all that is. You're connected to the infinite. You don't need anything else and you'll feel infinite. So imagine this, you're feeling infinite and Allah's already made everything. So even the specific person that you want is already made. That scenario, that experience is already made. Imagine like Allah, your plan is like this, Allah's plan is like this. So you want something specific, Allah will give you even more than that and better. That, more than that, and even better. when you connect with Him. So stop worrying about things. Well, I want that specific thing and that specific thing. Stop worrying about these things. Be connected to the Divine. You'll get that and way better. So this is the Quranic meditation. Within yourself, quiet, inward, always just constant awareness of Allah. That's it. And feeling His nearness. And what happens when you do that? In the remembrance of Allah, do hearts find peace. And a heart at peace means you're already living the thing that you want right now. When you're with Allah, you're living everything right now. And this directly speeds up how you experience the bridge. Not because you're forcing it. You're not forcing it. In fact, you're surrendering to it. But because you finally stop blocking it. You have all these blockages inside you. When you remember Allah within your heart, these blockages go away. Why? Because when truth comes, falsehood perishes. And Allah says, stop trying to control the flow, the how, by the way. How is it going to happen? No need. Allah Himself will do that. That's not your job. That's Allah's job. Allah will bring the people once again. Allah will bring the scenarios once again. Whoever relies upon Allah, then He is sufficient for him. Indeed, Allah will accomplish His command. Allah has already set for everything a measure. He's sufficient. He will accomplish His command. The measure is already set. Do you believe the words of Allah or the words of someone else? These are not my words. I believe the words of Allah more than anybody. What I mean, not like I'm the one that believes the most. I'm saying I believe in the words of Allah more than anybody that says something else. Someone says, no, but you have to be begging. Quran never says you have to be begging. Allah never says you have to be begging. So why are you begging? Allah Himself tells you the step-by-step formula right here. Change your inner. How do you change your inner? Invite Allah in your heart. Remember Allah in your heart. When you do that, you'll be immersed with light. Why? Because Allahu nuru samawati wal ard. And when you're immersed with light and you're moving with just overflowing love, you're in a completely different timeline that will lead to you experiencing more and more love. This is the thing that I wish every single Muslim would understand and know. This is what you need. Hope you're understanding how it's always instant, the manifestation, and how this could truly lead to you experiencing miracles. I'm telling you, everything I've wanted has come just like that, easily. How? Because I'm constantly, I can't say I'm constantly connected, but I'm always trying my best to be connected. We're not perfect, by the way. I fall out of connection here and there too. But the point is that you're always going back. That's the whole point. Because you are an insan, I'm an insan, which means we're always going to be forgetting. And it's normal. That's normal. But the path is remembrance, dhikr. وَلَذِكْرُ اللَّهِ أَكْبَرُ. So if this is helpful for you, Habibi, and I'm hoping that it is helpful. So if it's helpful, let me know.